your attendance and do hope you enjoy the game. We also ask that you please remain seated during the game. First of all, starting for the ROCORI Spartan. At a guard position, a senior, number 22, Jim Krause. At the other guard, a junior, number 34, Kip Sparby. At a forward position, a senior, number 44, Joe Hemming. At the other forward, a senior, number 50, Wayne Schreiner. And at center for the Spartans, a senior, number 52, Scott Hondo. The Spartans are both for Mr. Bob Brink, Doug Brink, Mary Disco. And now, starting for the Melrose Dutchman. Post position, junior, number 11, Ben Silver. At the right position, a junior, number 31, Tom Lenneman. At a post position, a senior, number 43, David Heidgergen. At a wing position, a senior, number 45, Ben Belker. At a post position, a junior, number 51, Ross Heidgergen.
Dutchman. Spartans will go from left to right as I watch it for you here in Melrose, and it will be Ben Velker to go up against Scott Hondo to open things up. Ball is up, tap is controlled by Hondo to Sparby, and he'll set the offense for the Spartans. Skip across the timeline on the dribble, bounce pass left side, caught by Hemish. Low post Hondo, turnaround, 7-footer, good. Nice start for the Spartans as they work it down low, and Hondo with the turnaround, and then a whistle as the net hung up on the far end of the floor. So a good start for the Spartans, and they'll come out with full court pressure against the Dutchman. Rademacher will inbound, and he gets it into Linneman. Linneman operates in the backcourt against the 2-2-1 zone press. Lobs it ahead to Heitkirchen. Looks down low, can't find anybody, and the pass is picked off by Hemish. Good defensive play by Joe Hemish as he stepped in to pick it off. Sparby back the other way for the Spartans. Launches a three, count it! Hit Sparby from about 22 feet, and the Spartans lead it 5-zip. Nice start. In the backcourt, Linneman. Ahead it comes to Sieben. Pushes it up the left side forecourt to Heitkirchen. Now Sieben will set the offense against the 2-3 zone up on top. Directs traffic, right side Linneman outside the arc. Back to Seaman. Left wing it goes to Velker. Cross-court pass Linneman. Linneman drives the paint. Runner from 12 won't go. And the rebound is tapped around and comes down to Sparby. Lead pass to Krause, and Jim was fouled before he could go up with the shot. What a great look by Kip Sparby. He looked left and fired right down court. And then Krause, who had trouble hanging onto the ball, fortunately was fouled by Sieben. For Sieben, that is his first, the first foul on either team in the ballgame, and an inbound underneath the basket for the Spartans. Sparby lobs it in over Hondo's head, but Hemish picks it up. He'll launch a three. That's off the front rim, tapped up and off, tapped up and in by Sparby. Kip Sparby with 5 points. 7-0 ROCORI on top, just about a minute, 10 seconds into the ballgame. Sieben into the forecourt, goes on the left wing now for Velker. High post it goes, now right side Linneman, back up top Sieben. On the left wing for Velker. Velker drives it in. Runner from 10 is rejected by Schreiner, and Lane drew the foul. Schreiner with the block from behind, got some ball, but got body too. His first personal, and the first on the Spartans, and at the line to shoot two will be 6'4.5" senior Ben Velker. First free throws of the ball game. 7-0 ROCORI on top. 6:35 remaining here in the first quarter. ROCORI basketball here on Oldies 94.9. Velker is the foreign exchange student from Germany. And he's at the line to shoot two. Free throw is up and hard off the back iron. No good. He'll get one more opportunity. Couple of bounces by the big right-hander. Free throw up, and that one rolls in. 7-1 Spartans on top. A little bit of token pressure in the backcourt by the Dutchman, and now they back off as Sparby comes behind the back on the dribble into the forecourt. Right corner for Hemish. Makes the lob pass inside, dribbles along the arc, picked up his dribble, has to hurry, and his pass for Sparby is intercepted, and Linneman has a breakaway, and he lays it in. Tom Linneman with the steal and the basket. And now pressure by the Dutchman in the backcourt. 7-3, ROCORI on top. Spartans break the press, and Sparby's into the forecourt on the dribble, working on Linneman. Left wing Hemish, lob down low. Handel shot it before he came down, missed the shot, and then he picked up a foul on the rebound. Scott Handel with the personal foul, his first, and the second on the team. He caught that ball in midair, turned, and tried to put it off the glass before he came down. The shot was short off the iron, and then he got a foul going after the rebound. Pressure in the backcourt now by the Spartans. For Melrose, Sieben gets it ahead to Velker. Velker drives it in all the way down the paint, and he travels. Contact in there, traveling called on Velker as he tried to force it between three Spartans, and ROCORI will come back the other way. A little bit of pressure applied by Melrose now. Schreiner inbounds to Sparby, and he'll bring it into the forecourt. Behind the back dribble across the timeline. Skip up on top now, right wing to the arc. Bounce pass in the corner for Klaus, thrown away by Sieben. He feeds Linneman, who's one-on-one with Hemish, and Joe picked up the foul. Joe reached in on the pass, and the personal charge against Joe Hemish. That'll be his first, the third team foul now on the Spartans. Spartans scored 7 points in the first minute of the ballgame. They haven't scored now in the next minute 15. Sieben will inbound right in front of us here. In the forecourt, hash mark extended. Gets it into Rademacher. Lobs it down low for Velker, who lays it up and in. Velker got behind Wayne Schreiner. 3 points for Velker, 7-5. The Dutchman have scored 5 in a row. Sparby, bounce pass in the corner, Hemish. Down low Schreiner, and he was fouled on the entry pass by Rademacher. Ross Rademacher's first personal, the second on the Dutchman. Schreiner turned and hit the shot, but it won't count as he was fouled before he went up. And an inbound for the Spartans underneath their offensive basket. Kip Sparby will be the trigger man. Sparby slaps the ball, gets everybody in motion, lobs it into Hemish in the right corner. Joe outside the arc, starts to dribble down to the top of the arc, cuts down the paint, 10-footer, won't go, tapped up his own rebound, that wouldn't go. Klaus got the rebound, back to Handel for the three that's short off the iron, and the rebound comes down to Sieben for Melrose. Sieben starts it into the forecourt on the dribble. On the left wing now for Heitkirchen. Cross-court pass for Linneman, fakes the three, now he'll launch it, it was blocked partially by Sparby, and Handel comes away with the ball. Beats Sparby into the forecourt for the Spartans. Starts it down the lane, crossing the key, and now over to the left wing outside the arc. Sparby takes his time, feeds Kraus up on top. Jim with the ball at the top of the key, left wing for Handel. Squares up, now Hemish baseline, 15-footer was partially blocked, and then a foul called on Dave Heitkirchen. That is his first, the third on the Dutchman. And at the line to shoot two will be Joe Hemish. Changes now as Scott Rademacher checks into the ball game along with Eric Schmiesing for Melrose. Ross Rademacher, Scott's cousin, will sit down, and Tom Linneman will take a rest. 7-5, ROCORI on top. 4:46 remaining here. First quarter in Melrose. Free throw by Hemish is good. Joe Hemish averaged 5.5 points a game last season and a little over 4 rebounds. Second free throw is good. Pressure in the backcourt again. 2-2-1 zone press. Rademacher, Scott Rademacher, sends it over to Sieben. Now he leaves it for Velker up on top, and Sieben will set the offense against the Spartan 2-3 zone. Right wing for Rademacher. Back to Sieben. Left side it goes Heitkirchen. Entry pass tipped away by Schreiner out of bounds. It will stay with Melrose, but good defense by Wayne Schreiner down low as he tipped the pass away from Velker. Melrose will inbound underneath their own offensive basket. Sieben will inbound. Lobs it cross court. Three from the corner by Velker is good. Ben Velker at 6'4.5" cans the three. He has 6 points, and it's 9-8 with ROCORI by 1. Now Hemish, left wing, takes the three, one dribble, cross-court pass for Handel. Handel spinning down the paint, 10-footer won't go, but he was fouled on the play by Eric Schmiesing. Schmiesing picks up his first foul. That is 4 now on Melrose, and additional changes now as Mike Rawlson will come into the ballgame, replacing Ben Sieben, and also Dave Heitkirchen will take a rest as Tomas Cruz comes into the ballgame. Daryl O.J. said he would probably play 10 guys in this ballgame. He's had 9 in already. Spartans have stayed with their starting 5. Handel at the line to shoot 2. He hits the first free throw. Senior Scott Hondo, who averaged 19.3 points a ball game last season and about 8.5 rebounds. He scored 29 last year against Melrose, and he hits both free throws to give the Spartans a 3-point lead. 4 points now for Hondo in the ball game. Rademacher in the backcourt, breaks a press, up in the right corner to Schmiesing. Up on top it comes now to Rolfson. Corner to Cruz, and his pass is out of bounds. A bad pass, and Belker couldn't handle it. Turnover on Melrose. And now Brian Niewind will check into the ball game for ROCORI, replacing Wayne Schreiner. Brian, of course, the all-conference football player who did not play last season, played basketball as a sophomore and now back as a senior. Into the forecourt is Sparby on the dribble, working against Rademacher. Cross-court for Kraus outside the arc. Now to Hondo on the left side. Starts it down the paint. Spin move, dumps it up. Good pass to Niewind, and he missed the shot. Rebound up no good by Hemmings. Up no good by Kraus. Battle for the ball. Saved by Melrose, but Kraus will track it down. And the Spartans will reset to Sparby for 3. Rims out, and the rebound comes down to Melrose. Belker pulled it down and leaves it in the backcourt for Rolfson. Mike Rolfson on the dribble to the forecourt. Starts it down the lane. Kicks it out to Cruz. Cruz, one bounce, got it back to Rolfson, and he traveled as he put it on the floor. Took an extra step as he came up to the basketball, and ROCORI will inbound in the backcourt. Tom Linneman checks back in now for Melrose. He'll replace Tomas Cruz. And Niewind will inbound in the backcourt for ROCORI. Pressure in the backcourt on the pass, and the ball was tipped. And I believe they didn't give him enough room there. Now Gabe Dahl will check in as ROCORI maintains possession. Gabe, the junior who saw some playing time as a sophomore last season, will replace Joe Hemish in the ballgame. Gabe, of course, the starting quarterback as a junior on the Spartan football team this season. He'll trigger it into Sparby. Sparby right back to Dahl. They come to the forecourt. Gabe leaves it back up on top for Kip. Sparby dribbles across the arc. Bounce pass left side for Kraus. Feed in the lane to Dahl, and he's going to be called for traveling. A nice move. Dahl got the opening, went up and laid it in, but he took an extra step. But a great play by the Spartans as they moved the ball well to get the opening. 11-8, ROCORI on top. 3:05 remaining first quarter. Rolfson up on top now for Melrose. Has Kraus on him. Right wing pass is caught by Rademacher to the high post. Schmiesing, 15-footer off the glass and in. Don't know if he called the bank shot, but it's in. First 2 points for him. 11-10, ROCORI by 1. Now Sparby beats Rademacher to the forecourt, and he had the ball tipped away by Linneman as he tried to pass it going down the lane. And Linneman is called for the personal foul. That is Linneman's first, and the 5th now on Melrose, with still 2:47 remaining here in the first quarter. As Ben Sieben will check back in along with Tomas Cruz for Melrose. And let's see who sits down. It will be Scott Rademacher taking a seat along with Ben Belker. Spartans inbound underneath their offensive basket. It will be Sparby to handle the inbound duty. Takes his time. Now he'll have to hurry, and he lobs it all the way in the backcourt. Kraus tracks it down just in time to avoid the 5. Met by Sieben in the backcourt, beats him up the left side to Sparby on the left wing outside the arc. Bounce pass right side, Hondo. 18-footer, short off the iron. Rebound capped up, and finally Cruz comes down with it. Leaves it for Sieben, ahead to Linneman, into the forecourt as they run the floor, and he is fouled as he goes to the basket, I believe, by Sparby. Linneman taking it between 2 ROCORI Spartans, drew the foul. Let's see if they charge it to Sparby. It's going to be on Scott Hondo, and that is his second, and the 4th now on ROCORI. As into the ball game now for the Spartans is Mike Carlson, the 6'2" sophomore, and he replaces Joe Hemish. No, actually, excuse me, he replaces Jim Kraus. Linneman at the line to shoot 2, free throw good. Tom Linneman averaged 15.5 points a ball game last season to lead Melrose. He's just a junior, only a sophomore last year, has 3 points in the ball game, and he's tied the game at 11 and can give Melrose their first lead. And he does it. 12-11, Melrose on top. 4 points for Linneman. ROCORI jumped off to a 7-0 lead in this one. Now Carlson in the backcourt, leaves it for Sparby. Kip pushes it ahead. Bounce pass left side. Hondo drives the baseline, and as he went for the slam, he was fouled by Schmiesing. I'm not sure if Hondo was going to bank that in or slam it. Either way, he was interrupted by Schmiesing. Had to hang on to the rim to maintain his balance, and Scott will go to the line to shoot 2. For Schmiesing, that is his second personal, 6th now on Melrose, as Joe Hemish will check back in now for ROCORI, and he will replace Brian Niewind. Jeff Lynn checks in for the first time for Melrose, and he'll replace Mike Rolfson. At the line to shoot 2 is Hondo. Free throw rolls in. They'll get one more. Hondo has 5 points in the ballgame now, and coming into the game for him is Eric Boucher. The junior will check in after Hondo's done shooting the free throw. First free throw by Hondo ties the ballgame at 12. Second one gives the Spartans a 13-12 lead, and Scott Hondo will take a rest with 6 points in the ballgame. 13-12, ROCORI on top with 2:20 remaining in the first quarter. Both teams a little bit sloppy here early on, especially in the foul department. That's to be expected in the opener. Now Melrose breaks the three-quarter court pressure. Linneman to the key. Up on top to Sieben. Sieben against the 2-3 zone. Lobs it right side for Cruz. Back to Sieben. Left wing, it comes now to Linneman. Linneman behind the back dribble. Starts down the left side of the baseline. Ran into his own man Cruz and triggers it back up to Sieben on top. On the right wing, it goes to Lynn. Back to Sieben. Left wing, Cruz. Corner, Linneman. Drives the baseline. Wraparound move. Too hard off the iron. Rebound battled for. Out of bounds. Last touched by Melrose. It will belong to ROCORI. Eric Boucher battling in there with Jeff Lynn, and Lynn touched it last. And ROCORI will inbound in the backcourt against pressure. Dahl will trigger it in, gets it into Carlson, and he'll push it ahead on the dribble to the forecourt. Had it tipped away from behind by Lynn. Ball loose on the floor. Boucher comes away with it, but then he throws it right to Heitkirk, who's back in the ballgame for Melrose. I had Cruz, three-pointer from the left side, long over everything. Linneman got the rebound, put it up and in, and he was fouled. Tom Linneman got the offensive rebound and the putback, and he drew the personal foul. See who they charge it against. That'll be the 5th team foul now on ROCORI, as the personal goes against Eric Boucher, and that is his first. Linneman with 6 points in the ballgame will try to complete the three-point play and give Melrose a 2-point lead. And he does so. 7 points for Tom Linneman. Biggest lead in the ballgame for the Dutchman at 15-13. ROCORI has had as much as a 7-point edge. Carlson into the forecourt, gives it back to Sparby. He'll launch a three. Might have been deflected by Linneman out of bounds. It will go over to Melrose, though. They didn't say it was touched by Linneman, and Melrose will get possession. Sparby fired up the air ball. And now coming into the ball game for the Spartans is Eric Schmidt, the 6-foot freshman, and he will replace Kip Sparby. Schmidt's the freshman point guard. You heard Bob Brink talking about him in the pregame show. Inbound in the backcourt against pressure now for Melrose, and the Spartans will drop off just a bit. Linneman gets it ahead to Cruz. Tomas Cruz leaves it back up on top for Linneman. He gives it to Sieben, and he'll set the offense. Right wing for Linneman, back up on top Sieben. Left wing Cruz, corner to Lynn. Back to Cruz, double dribble, picked it up, put it on the floor again. And the ball goes over to the Spartans on the turnover. 1:08 remaining here, first quarter, and ROCORI will inbound in the backcourt off the turnover. Pressure again on the ball as Linneman comes up. Pressure's Dahl, but he gets it into Schmidt. Eric almost dribbled into a double team. Now he backs off and spins into the forecourt. Nice move. Had the ball tipped away from behind by Cruz, and it comes loose to Heitkirchen, and Melrose comes back the other way. Ahead into the right corner to Lynn. High post Heitkirchen. 14-footer off the glass and in. 2 points for Dave Heitkirchen, 17-13. Melrose by 4. Three-quarter court pressure. Schmidt's double teams in the backcourt. Has it taken away by Sieben, and he lays it up and in. Ben Sieben's first 2 points. Melrose on top by 6 now. We've got a 13-point swing in this ballgame, and Jim Krause will check back in for ROCORI at the next whistle. Schmidt's in the backcourt. Gets it ahead to Carlson. Carlson back to Schmidt's up on top. On the right wing for Dahl. Gabe with one dribble. His pass is tipped away by Linneman. Linneman off to the races. Carlson trails him and fouls him. Shot is no good, and Linneman will be at the line to shoot 2. Changes now as Jim Krause, Scott Hondo, Kip Sparby, and Wayne Schreiner are all going to check back in for ROCORI. The foul is on Carlson. That is his first, the 6th team foul of the half now on ROCORI. Both teams will be in the bonus now for the rest of the first half, and we still have 18 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Tom Linneman will be at the line to shoot 2. He already has 7 points in the ballgame. Couple of bounces, and the right-hander Up and in. He's hit 4 free throws now in the ballgame. He's 4 of 4 from the line. Melrose 5 of 6 from the stripe. And ROCORI is 6 of 6. So good free throw shooting early on for both of these clubs. Second free throw is good, but I believe we had a lane violation. It will not count as into the lane too early with Jeff Lynn. Scott Rademacher will check back into the lineup now for Melrose. And again, they'll come out with full court pressure. Looks like a 2-1-2 zone press. ROCORI operating with 18 seconds left in the quarter, trailing by 7. Sparby lobs it ahead, 2 times for Krause, it'll go out of bounds. And Melrose will get the last possession of the quarter on the turnover. 11 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 20-13, Melrose on top. ROCORI backs off the half-court defense. And now they push it ahead, and the ball is tipped away, and Hamish comes back the other way, dribbles across the timeline, and he's fouled up on top by Mike Rolfson. Rolfson threw the bad pass, and then he committed the foul, and at the line, I believe, to shoot 1-and-1 will be Joe Hamish.
7 seconds to go.
Rolfson commits the 7th personal of the half for Melrose. That's his first. And Joe Hamish with a couple of points, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, will be at the line to shoot 2. ROCORI jumped to a 7-0 lead in this one, but Melrose stormed back to take the lead for actually the second time in the ball game at 14-13. And now they've surged ahead to lead at 20-13. Free throw by Hamish is good. The Spartans are 7 of 7 from the free throw line, and Joe will get one more. Second free throw is likewise good by Joe Hamish. 4 points, 20-15. Melrose will get the last shot. Rolfson pushes it ahead to the baseline. Reverse layup won't go at the buzzer. And that's the end of the first quarter, a wild one. It's Melrose 20, ROCORI 15. We're back in 1 minute on Oldies 94.9. Okay, is that static that I'm hearing as bad on the phone line as it is in my headset? All right, okay. Sometimes it gets magnified, so. Yeah, that's probably my brain rattling together. Crowd noise sounds okay? There's enough of it? Okay.
Big square length first quarter. Bells into a 5-point lead.
Melrose with the ball to open play here in the second quarter to Scott Rademacher. 15-footer from the free throw line, and he banked it in. Rademacher's first 2 points, 22-15, Melrose on top. Now Hondel ahead to Hamish, and he laid it in. Good high post, low post feed from Hondel to Joe Hamish. He has 6 points, and it's 22-17. We could see both teams score 100 tonight. They're really going up and down the floor. Rolfson on the left wing, goes high post with it now. Now back to Rolfson, and he'll dribble it up on top to set the offense. Rolfson goes on the right wing now to Velker. Velker starts it to the baseline. Spin move, and he's going to be called for the offensive foul as he bumped with Wayne Schreiner. For Velker, that is his first. Turnover on Melrose, and the inbound will be in the backcourt now for the Spartans. Schreiner throws it away. The ball is loose, rolling on the floor. Scramble for it at the midcourt line, and they tie it up, and it'll be a jump ball called, and the ball will go to ROCORI on the alternate possession. So ROCORI will inbound near the timeline in the backcourt. Wayne Schreiner will handle the duties on the near sideline. For ROCORI, he's guarded closely on the play by Ross Rademacher, and he gets it into Sparby, who comes into the forecourt. Sparby to the left wing, bumping with Scott Rademacher. Corner to Krause. Krause one dribble, brings it out on top to Wayne Schreiner. Schreiner down the lane, dumps it off to Hondel on the arc. Cross court Sparby takes a shot, starts it down the lane, carries it to the bucket, laid it short off the rim, and the rebound comes down to Melrose. Back the other way now come the Dutchman. Ahead to Velker, and again he's going to be charged with the offensive foul. Wayne Schreiner again had good position, drew the charge, and Velker quickly picked up 2 fouls. ROCORI will inbound in the backcourt now. 6:38 remaining first half, 22-17, Melrose on top. Sparby on the dribble in the backcourt. Stutter steps, now comes into the forecourt on the left-handed swing. To the left wing, now in the left corner to Krause. He dribbles it back up on top to reset the offense. Across the top of the key to Sparby. Left side Schreiner, 18-footer short off the iron. Long rebound Himmish, 14-footer. Bounces around and won't go, and the rebound comes down to Heitkirchen. Heitkirchen feeds it ahead now to Rolfson. Rolfson left wing for Scott Rademacher. Rademacher dribbling on the arc, now starts it to the baseline. Backs it out on the dribble, waits, now he'll launch a 3, and it's good. Scott Rademacher, after they dropped off him, hit the 3. He has 5, 25-17. Melrose with their biggest lead with 5:50 remaining here in the first half. Now Himmish, left corner. His 3 is short off the iron. Backside rebound, Schreiner in traffic, feeds it back out to Sparby up on top, and he'll reset the offense for ROCORI. Now Himmish, left wing, feeds Handel, left block, and he lays it up and in. Nice feed from Himmish to Handel. 8 points for Scott Handel. 5:30 remaining first half, 25-19, Melrose on top. Lob pass now to the high post to Rademacher, and it's taken away by Himmish. Feeds it ahead for Krause. Krause lays it up and in. Jim Krause on a nice feed from Joe Himmish, who's played a good ball game on the floor for the Spartans. First 2 points for Krause, and the Spartans are back within 4 with 5:10 remaining here in the first half. On the right wing it goes now for Rademacher. Rademacher back up on top. Rolfson, his pass on the left side went through Velker's hands out of bounds, and the ball goes over to the Spartans. Changes now, wholesale changes for Melrose as Linneman, Sieben, and Schmiesing check back in. It will be Rademacher, and Heitkirchen taking a rest. Inbound in the backcourt against pressure now for Wayne Schreiner and the ROCORI Spartans. Gets it into Sparby. Everybody will back off now and let Kip work one-on-one against Ben Sieben. Spins into the forecourt to the right wing. Bounces it to the corner to Himmish. Down low Schreiner. Spin move on the baseline, and he banks it in with the left hand. Nice move by Wayne Schreiner. First 2 points of the ball game. Spartans are within 2 at 25-23. Melrose on top with 4:45 remaining first half. Sieben working up on top. Left wing Linneman fakes the 3, drives the baseline, shovels it off to Velker. His shot won't go, but he was fouled by Schreiner. Turnabout is fair play, as he got the charge a couple of times, and now Velker draws the foul on Wayne, his second. And at the line to shoot 2 will be Ben Velker. Velker with 6 points in the ball game, including 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He also has a 3-point basket to his credit. Free throw is up and good. Ben Velker with 7 points. Gives Melrose a 3-point lead, and he can extend the margin to 4 if he hits the second one, and he does. Velker with 8 points in the ball game. Now Sieben will provide one-on-one pressure against Sparby. Tipped into the forecourt, spins on the dribble, now back the other way to the right wing. To Krause in the corner against the man-to-man defense. Krause back up on the arc to the right wing. Still on the dribble, comes up on top, now back against Linneman to the right. Bounce pass baseline Himmish. Keeps Krause back up on top. On the left wing for Handel. Handel with a move down the lane. Shovel layup from 10 on the runner. Won't go, but he was fouled. Good aggressive move by Scott Handel. He drew the foul as he laid it up underhanded from about 10. The foul will be charged to whom? Velker, I believe, and that is his 3rd. So Ben Velker will sit down with 3 personals. He has 8 points in the ballgame. Back in to replace him in the ballgame is Tomas Cruz. Handel's free throw is good. Scott will get 1 more. He can go into double figures if he hits it. 4:14 remaining first half. Handel can cut the Melrose lead to 2. And he does so. Now the Spartans will drop back into half-court defense as Sieben pushes it up the left side for Linneman. He'll stop, fire a 3 over Sparby. It's no good, but then Sparby fouled him after the shot, backing into him as he tried to block him off the boards. And at the line to shoot 1-and-1, I would guess, will be, no, they're going to give him 3 shots. They're going to say he was fouled in the act of shooting. Linneman will be at the line to shoot 3. That's an interesting call because it appeared that Sparby had come down on the floor, that Linneman had finished the shot, and then Sparby hit him afterwards. But at the line to shoot 3 will be Tom Linneman. 8 points in the ball game. He is 4 of 5 from the free throw line. The miss was actually a problem with a lane violation. This one bounces in, so he hasn't missed one yet that he's been able to shoot. He has 9 points in the ball game. If he makes all 3, he could give his team a 5-point lead. Second free throw also good. Linneman was the starting quarterback on the Melrose team that finished second in the West Central North Conference. He completed 60% of his passes. He was on the St. Cloud Times All-Area team. Threw for 1,275 yards. He hits all 3 free throws. He has 11 points on the night now. 30-25. Melrose by 5 with an even 4 minutes remaining here now in the second quarter. Now Sparby has it taken away by Sieben. Back one-on-one, goes underneath him. It was deflected by Sparby, and the ball comes away to Melrose. Melrose wanted a foul, but they have the ball. Sieben up on top. He'll reset the offense for Melrose. Fakes it, now goes high post, and it's taken away by Hondo. Hondo back the other way against Sieben. Behind the back pass, went over the head of Krause out of bounds. Scott Knight tried to get too cute. A turnover on ROCORI, and Melrose will come back the other way. There has been no shortage of action in this one, that's for certain. In the backcourt now, Sieben gets directions from his coach, Darrell O.J., and comes across the timeline on the dribble. Bounce pass right side, caught by Heitkirchen, just inside the arc. Feeds it to the high post now to Lynn. Lynn, right side for Linneman. Linneman starts it down the paint, 14-footer off balance, won't go, got his own rebound, was stripped to the ball, but he was fouled on the play, and let's see who's going to be whistled for the personal. It's going to go against Kip Sparby. For Sparby, that's his second. At the line to shoot 1-and-1 will be Tom Linneman. Back into the game now is Ross Rademacher replacing Eric Schmiesing. Mentioned Linneman has not missed a free throw other than that one where there was a lane violation. Last year as a sophomore, he was a 73% free throw. Free throw is up and good. Linneman has 12 points in the ball game, including 8 from the free throw line, and here's a chance to add to the Melrose lead. It's 6 now with 3:21 remaining here in the first half. Prep basketball on Oldies 94.9 from Melrose. Our producer tonight is Tom Lucas, and I'm Emmett Keenan. Free throw is up, and it is good. That is 9 points from the line, 13 in all for Tom Linneman. 32-25, Melrose on top by 7. Sparby into the forecourt on the dribble, spins it to the top of the key, dumps it to Krause on the right side, starts it in, dumps to Schreiner in the corner. Move on the baseline, driving in, banked it up too hard, no good. Sparby putback is good. Kip Sparby, the 6'2" point guard, ranging down for the rebound, has 7 points. 32-27, under 3 minutes and a half. Melrose on top. Pass is tipped away. Hemisch saves it, and coming away with it now is Lynn for Melrose. Starts it in, tries to wrap it around to Rademacher. He's double-teamed. Pass is tipped, but it comes out on top to Sieben, and he'll reset for Melrose. A little bit wild underneath. Melrose bounces it on the left side now to Heitkirchen. On the right wing for Lynn. Drives to the baseline. Tries to feed it inside in traffic. Ball came loose to the Spartans. And now Hondo comes out 2-on-1 with Krause. Bounce pass to Jimmy. Banks it in. Jim Krause with 4 points. A 3-point Melrose lead now at 32-29 as we continue to go back and forth in this one. Sieben across the timeline. He's met by Krause up on top. Dribbles it to the right wing against Jim. Ben Sieben bounces it up top to Linneman. Takes one dribble, 16-footer, rims out, rebound tapped up, and Hondo comes away with it, and he's fouled from behind by Lynn. First personal on Jeff Lynn, and we'll walk to the other end where Scott Hondo will be at the line to shoot 1-and-1. Hondo with 10 points in the ballgame, and 6 of those have come from the free throw line as we've had an awful lot of personal fouls early on in this one. On the floor now, as we've seen many changes for both ball clubs in this one, it's Kip Sparby, Scott Hondo, Jim Krause, Wayne Schreiner, and Joe Hemisch for ROCORI with Hondo at the line. Free throw is up and good. Scott will get one more. He can pull the Spartans to within 1. It's Scott Rademacher along with Ross Rademacher Ben Sieben, Tom Linneman, and Dave Heitgerken on the floor for Melrose. Second free throw is short off the iron. Rebound is tapped, though, and Schreiner comes away with it. Feeds to Krause. Three on the way. One up there. Hondo with the rebound and the slam. Oh, my. Scott Hondo went high for the rebound and slammed it home. Hondo, unbelievable play, has 13 points in the ballgame, and we're tied at 32. That brought the crowd to their feet. Up on top now, Linneman for Melrose with a minute 40 remaining here in the first half. An unbelievable play by Scott Hondo. Now Sieben drives the right side and banks it in. Ben Sieben went into traffic to get a good bucket. He has 4. Back to a 2-point Melrose lead. Ahead to Hemish. He'll launch a 2. That's long from just inside the arc. And Sieben comes back the other way for Melrose. Feeds it ahead to Linneman. Nice pass, and he lays it up and in. 15 points, and it's 36-32 Melrose as we continue to go up and down. In the corner it comes to Hemish. Now he feeds it down low for Schreiner, who hits a turnaround from the block. Wayne Schreiner has 4 points in the ballgame. The pace in this one is unbelievable. Down to a minute remaining in the first half. 36-34, Melrose by 2 with the ball. Sieben on the left arc. Now up on top it comes to Linneman. Linneman starts it to the right side, picks up a pick, now drives it into the lane, lays it off the glass too hard over Hondo. Rebound, Ross Rademacher. His putback won't go, but he was fouled by Schreiner. Whoa. I'm glad we're going to slow this down for the free throws. Wayne Schreiner with his 3rd personal foul, and quickly Gabe Dahl will check in for him. Mike Ralston will check back in now, as will Tomas Cruz for Melrose, replacing Ben Sieben. And let's see who else will sit down. It looks like Tom Linneman will sit down also. At the line to shoot 2 will be Mike Ralston. No, actually it will be Rademacher, who appears to have a cut on his face. And he's going to have to come out of the ballgame. And very alertly, Tom Linneman was on the bench, so they will check him back in to shoot the free throw. I'm not sure how that works because Linneman was on the floor at the time of the foul. I've got to believe that that's not exactly kosher. But it looks like we're not going to get any protest, and Linneman will be at the line to shoot 2 for Ross Rademacher, who sits down with just a cut on the inside of his lip. I'm sure he'll be okay. Linneman's free throw. This one he finally missed. Linneman with 15 points in the first half. Scott Hondo has 13 in the first half for ROCORI. Linneman's second free throw upcoming, and now a lane violation as one of the Dutchmen stepped into the lane again. Linneman won't even get an opportunity to shoot the second one, and the Spartans trailing by 2 will have the ball in the backcourt with 44 seconds remaining in the half. Gabe Dahl will trigger it in, gets it into Krause. Krause double teamed and then fouled as he got one of the Dutchmen off his feet. He made the fake, and Scott Rademacher left his feet and came down hard on Jim Krause. First foul on Rademacher, and Krause will go to the line on the other end to shoot 1 and 1. This has been an unbelievable breakneck speed first half. When the teams have been playing, there's been an awful lot of fouls. I'll see if they clean that up a little bit in the second half. Jim Krause will be at the line to shoot 1 and 1. Free throw is up and good. 5 points for Jim Krause. He averaged just under 6 points last year for the Spartans, and he averaged a little bit over 3 assists a ball game. Second free throw is good, and we're tied at 36 with 42 seconds remaining in the first half. Spartans have had a 7-point lead. That was at 7-0. Melrose has had a 9-point lead in this first half, and we're tied now. Now, Linneman dribbles into a trap, and the ball is saved, and it is not saved, though. Stepping on the line was Mike Ralston, who came cross court as Linneman threw the ball out of a double team to nobody, and the Spartans control just inside the forecourt with 31 seconds remaining here in the half. Barbie jumps into the backcourt to get the pass, and now comes across the line on the dribble. Left wing for Joe Hemish, down to 25 on the clock. Hemish on the dribble. I think ROCORI will probably go for 1 here. Barbie up on top with 20. Try to take the lead to the dressing room. Hemish on the left wing with 15. Feeds Krause in the lane. Comes out on the dribble and feeds it back to Hemish. Now Sparby on the right wing to the low post. goes to Boucher. Turnaround from the baseline won't go. And then the rebound is kicked out of bounds by Linneman with 4 seconds remaining. So ROCORI may have shot too quick. Eric Boucher from the left, or the right block rather, and the Spartans will get another opportunity on the mishandled rebound. Scott Rademacher will check in now, replacing Tom Linneman. Or Melrose, and Dahl will inbound on the near sideline. Gets it into Sparby. He tried to last the last one. Has to hurry and he's traveled. He traveled at the end of the half, so the shot never gets off by the Spartans. And we've reached the end of the first half. It's been a wild one. ROCORI 36, Melrose 36, and we're back to talk about it in 2 minutes here on Oldies 94.9. Tom? Why don't we do this? Why don't we hang up and why don't you call me back? And see if we can get a better line without that static. Oh, you're not hearing it? No, that's just in my headphones. Screw it, I don't care. That's fine, then we won't worry about it. Okay. Melrose moving from left to right, owns the ball here to start the second half. Sieben up on top, dribbles it to the right side on the arc. Looks like both teams have their starters back in. Now that's not exactly correct. Linneman with the runner off the glass and in. Tom Linneman had 15 in the first half, and he opens things up here for Melrose. He has 17 now. Spartans break the pressure. Lapper, Hondo, alley-oop and the slam. Jim Krause with a great feed. Scott Hondo with his second slam of the ballgame has 15 points, and we're tied again at 38. Holy cow. Up on top is Sieben. Dribbles to the left wing with Krause on him. High post Linneman watches a three. That one rims out. Hondo for the rebound went high. Couldn't handle it, but then got it back on the bounce. Threw it away. It was tipped out of bounds by Linneman, and ROCORI will maintain possession. Man, what an athletic play by Scott Hondo, and a great feed by Jim Krause. Hondo inbounds to Sparby. Everybody will back off and let Sparby work against Scott Rademacher. He's the starter that is on the floor that was not, or the player that was not a starter. Ben Belker is on the floor with 3 personal fouls. Kraus up on top now for the Spartans. Outside the arc, dribbles to the left side, bounces to Hondo. Hondo dribbles to the baseline, stops, puts up a 10-footer, long. Sparby got the rebound, though, and he'll reset for the Spartans. Kip Sparby, the point guard, has done a great job on the boards. At 6'2", he's taking the smaller men down low. Hondo feeds Schreiner on the block. Now back to Hondo, to the paint. Right side, Kraus, 17-footer. Long off the iron. Rebound up and coming down with it is Eric Schmiesing. He's also a non-starter in the ballgame for Melrose. Sieben up on top. On the right wing, it goes to Linneman. Linneman down the paint, driving layup. Blocked underneath by Hondo. Linneman got it back. Reverse layup won't go, and Sparby comes away with the ball. Daryl O.J. wants a foul call underneath, but he's not going to get it. Sparby into the forecourt on the dribble, working against Scott Rademacher. Right side for Kraus, outside the arc. Feeds down low, Hemish. Good move. Shot was blocked by Schmiesing, though, and Melrose will come back the other way. Schmiesing kind of stood his ground on the move and then deflected the shot by Hemish. Sieben looks to the bench for instructions for the Melrose Dutchman. He works up on top with Kraus. Sieben, leading receiver on the football team for the Dutchman, feeds left wing, and hitting the 15-foot jump shot is Scott Rademacher. He has 7 points in the ballgame now, and Wayne Schreiner on the inbound stepped inbounds before he fired the pass, and so Melrose, leading by 2, will take over underneath the bucket with 5:51 remaining in this, the third quarter, and Jim Kraus asked for time now to tie his shoe. It's an official timeout to do so, and having a conversation with one of the officials on the far sideline, and now he's set to go. Again, our officials tonight are Steve Knutson and Jim Meisner, both out of the Alexandria area. Now we have a question for one of the officials. Not sure what the situation is. The official is going to come over and they've got a wet spot on the floor. I think they're going to wipe up a wet spot on the floor. Bob Brink now having a discussion with one of the officials right in front of our table here in the Melrose gym. Wet spot on the floor. Let's see what they're going to do. They're going way over in the right corner in the backcourt to wipe off the spot. Now it appears like we are ready to go. Now maybe we're going to get a little floor maintenance here at Melrose. Again, Spartan basketball comes your way all season long here on Oldies 94.9. Our next broadcast will be next Tuesday night as Little Falls comes to Cold Spring to open the Central Lakes Conference season against the Spartans. We'll be on the air 7:15, 7:30, sometime after the sophomore game. Now on the right wing, it goes to Rademacher. His three-pointer is short, way off the rim. Hondo saves the rebound and leaves it for Sparby in the backcourt. Kip pushes it ahead into the forecourt across the timeline, spins on the dribble to the top of the key, bounce pass left side Hemish to the baseline Hondo, back up on top to Kraus, down the lane, driving layup is good. Jim Kraus with the move, has 8 points in the ballgame, and we're tied again at 40. Into the forecourt now on the dribble, Sieben, left wing Linneman. Holds it high above his head, up on top for Scott Rademacher. On the right wing it goes now for Sieben. Bounce pass high post for Schmiesing, back to Sieben. On the left wing, Scott Rademacher. High post Schmiesing. Tries the move. Now the 15-footer rims in. Schmiesing was going to make the move. It wasn't there, so he canned the 15-footer. 4 points for Eric Schmiesing. Back the other way come the Spartans, trailing by 2. Kraus feeds it ahead to Hondo. Reverse is good. Scott Hondo had somebody in his face, so he just wrapped it around. He has 17 points, and we're tied at 42. On the left wing now with it is Scott Rademacher. Cross-court Linneman. His long three is good. Tom Linneman has 20 points now, his first three-pointer of the ballgame, and Melrose leads at 45-42. We're going to need an extra digit on the scoreboard, folks. This has been a wild one. The teams have really picked up the scoring, and they've really cut the contact down here in the second half. In fact, I don't believe we've had a foul here in this stanza. In the right corner now, it goes to Kraus. Feed down low, and for Schreiner, and he banks it in, and he was fouled. There's the first foul. Schreiner on the baseline with the good move, banked it in and drew the personal foul. He'll have a shot at three-point play as the personal goes against Eric Schmiesing. That is his third in the ballgame, the first foul on either team in the half. Changes now as Ross Rademacher and Tomas Cruz check back in now, replacing Linneman and Schmiesing. Schreiner with 6 points in the ballgame, chance to make it 7. He's also playing with 3 personal fouls for ROCORI. He can tie the ballgame with the free throw, and he got the roll. He's not at home, but he got the hometown roll. We're tied at 45. 7 points for Wayne Schreiner. 4:25 remaining in the third quarter here in Melrose. Pressure in the backcourt now, pushing it ahead is Rademacher. His pass was tipped by Sparby, but gets to the corner to Heitgerson. Back to Scott Rademacher on the wing, up on top to Ben Sieben. On the left wing it goes, now high post for Ross Rademacher. In the corner, Heitgerson, 17-footer, missed everything, and Sparby came away with the rebound. Kip pushes it into the forecourt on the dribble, starts it down the lane, coast to coast, and he lays it in. Kip Sparby, 9 points for the Spartans, his first start as the junior point guard, and the Spartans are back on top by 2. Now Sieben the other way, out of control, lays it up, no good. Hamel battles for the rebound, it's tipped away, and Schreiner comes away for the Spartans. Darrell O.J. wanted a foul. He's hollering at the official as they go by. Now Sparby on the other end. Three-pointer won't go. Krause lost the rebound, but it came to Hemish. 15-footer is good. Joe Hemish with 8 points, and ROCORI is on top by 4 at 49-45. 3:25 remaining in the third quarter. Ahead to the forecourt to Heitgerson on the right baseline. Now it goes left wing, back up on top for Sieben. Against the zone, right side to Cruz, right baseline Heitgerson, Cruz to Sieben. They reverse it left side for Scott Rademacher. Back to Sieben, right wing Heitgerson. They look inside to the zone. Ross Rademacher shot rejected by Handel on the turnaround, and the Spartans come away with the ball. Sparby pushes it into the forecourt on the dribble. Now he'll wait for things to set up on the right side. Krause, low post Schreiner, gets the baseline, lays it up and in, and he was fouled. No, they wave it off, an offensive foul on Schreiner. No basket, and Schreiner will be charged with the offensive foul. Bob Brink about 4 steps out on the floor to protest, but Wayne Schreiner has drawn his 4th personal foul in the ballgame, the first team foul of the half on ROCORI. Now some more changes for Melrose as they will have Mike Rolfson, Tom Linneman, Ross Rademacher, Dave Heitgerson, and Ben Sieben in the ballgame. Also changes for the Spartans on the floor for them now. Eric Boucher, he will replace Wayne Schreiner, Kip Sparby, Jim Krause, Scott Handel, and Joe Hemish. 49-45, ROCORI by 4, 2:50 remaining third quarter. Melrose with the ball, Rolfson up on top in the forecourt, working against Krause. Goes left wing for Linneman, starts it through the paint, passes underneath to Rademacher, got Sparby off his feet and laid it up and in. Good move by Ross Rademacher for his first 2 points of the ball game, and it's a 2-point ROCORI lead with 2.5 minutes remaining. Sparby up on top, and he drew the reach-in foul on Linneman. Tom Linneman reached in to try to tip it away, his second personal, second team foul of the half on Melrose, and an inbound coming now for the Spartans. They'll inbound on the near sideline at the hash mark. Boucher will inbound, gets it into Sparby. To the left baseline, stopped there by Linneman. Dribbles to the wing, looks inside for Handel. Handel on the baseline, 10-foot turnaround, long off the rim. Hemish got the backside rebound, but I believe he's going to be called for pushing off. That is the call. Hemish pushed to get the rebound. His second, the second team foul of the half on ROCORI, and Melrose will inbound in the backcourt. In it comes to Rolfson as Sieben is playing on the wing now. He cuts to the right side, and Rolfson across the line on the dribble against the 2-3 zone. Spartans really extend that zone as Linneman gets it on the left wing. Rolfson up on top. Right wing pass now for Sieben. Up on top, they wheel it to the left wing now, Heitgerson. To Rolfson, right wing Linneman as they look inside to the post. Now Rolfson up on top. Dribbles to the right side, bumps it in the corner to Heitgerson. One dribble and back up on top Rolfson. Now left corner Linneman drives the baseline against Handel, tries to wrap around, it won't go, but Handel was called for the personal and Scott knew it. That is 3 on Handel and 3 on the Spartans, and at the line to shoot 2 will be Tom Linneman. Linneman with 20 points in the ballgame as Brian Niewind will check in now for the Spartans, replacing Scott Handel. I imagine Scott will rest the rest of the third quarter now. Linneman with 20 points in the ballgame. He has made 9 free throws rather. He's been there 12 times, but on all of his misses but one, there was a lane violation. Makes the first one. He can make this a tie ball game if he cans the second one. As Dave Heitgerson will sit down now as Jeff Lynn comes back in the ball game for Melrose. Fatigue shouldn't be a problem with both teams playing 10 ball players in the game. Second free throw, a whistle, and another lane violation on Melrose, again on Jeff Lynn. Free throw was good, but it won't count. 21 points for Tom Linneman, and a 1-point ROCORI lead. Inbound pass tipped away by Linneman. He dove to the floor and tipped the ball out of bounds, and ROCORI again will inbound underneath the basket in the backcourt with 1:50 remaining here in the third quarter. In it comes to Sparby. Linneman stole it away, but he saves it to Sparby, and Kip brings it into the forecourt on the dribble. Now Linneman hawks him from behind, but can't take it away. Sparby double team, feeds down low for Krause. He won't get the layup, but he was fouled. Jim Krause in the land of the Giants hesitated in the air, got the shot off, and drew the personal foul. And it will go against Ross Rademacher. That is his second, third team foul of the half on the Dutchman. And at the line to shoot two will be Jim Krause. Krause with 8 points in the ballgame. Hits the first one, he'll get one more. Jim is 3 of 3 from the free throw line with one more coming. And he can make it a 3-point Spartan lead. Free throw is up and good. Jim in double figures with 10. Second Spartan to get to double figures. And it's a 3-point ROCORI lead. Pressure in the backcourt. Now Steven into the forecourt. Lost the ball behind his back, and it comes away to Kip Sparby. Kip looks to feed to Jim Krause on the breakaway, but couldn't get it to him. Now Sparby up on top, stops, launches a three. That's off the iron. Battle for the rebound as Boucher went high, but he couldn't control it. And Rademacher comes away with it for Melrose. The trigger, they had the Linneman right side. Three was blocked by Sparby, and it was foul. Kip says I got nothing but ball, but they whistle him for the foul, and Linneman will be at the line to shoot three. And that is 3 personals now on Kip Sparby and 4.5 on the Spartans. Linneman has had one other opportunity in the game to shoot 3 free throws. In that case, he was also fouled by Sparby, and he made all 3. Tom Linneman with 21 points in the ballgame, the junior off guard, who was the leading scorer last year as a sophomore for Melrose, hits the first one. Mentioned that he was the starting quarterback on that football team that was second in the West Central Conference. 2 losses on the season, one to state champ Sartell in the regular season, and one to Sauk Center in the playoffs. Second free throw is good. So Linneman now with 23 points in the ballgame, chance to make it 24, and if he hits this one, he'll tie the ballgame. I've lost count of how many times we've been tied in this one. And the free throw rolls out, so we won't be tied here. Rebound battled for, and Sieben couldn't save it on the baseline, and then we've got a whistle and a foul called on the court. Someone pushed Sieben out of bounds, according to the official, and that will go against Kip Sparby, and that is 4 on Kip. Inbound for Melrose underneath the basket. 5.5 now on the Spartans, and Linneman on the left wing. Long three, long off the iron. Got his own long rebound, though. Drives the baseline. Shovels up to Rademacher, who dumps it in. Ross Rademacher has 4 points. Melrose on top now. 52-51. We're in the final minute of play in the third quarter. Sparby playing with 4 personals, backing in on the dribble. Now leaves it for Joe Hemish up on top. Holds it high above his head, has to start moving it or he'll get a 5-second call. Now breaks it down the right side to the baseline. Shot up, no good. He forced it, but he was fouled on the play. Joe Hemish may have forced it on the baseline, but he drew the foul on Jeff Lynn, his second 14 foul of the half on Melrose. And Tomas Cruz will check in now, replacing Tom Linneman for Melrose. Joe Hemish has the line to shoot 2, has 8 points in the ballgame, including 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Gabe Dahl into the game now, replacing Wayne Schreiner for the Spartans. Hemish's free throw is good. 9 points in the ballgame, chance to make it 10 for Hemish, and if he does so, he'll give the Spartans the lead. We're tied at 52 with 44 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and it's good. 10 points now. Third Spartan in double figures. Joe Hemish with the 10. And it's 53-52 ROCORI. Some pressure in the backcourt. Steven dribbles into a double team. Now bounces it ahead to Ralston. On the right wing to Lynn. Back to Ralston up on top. One dribble, launches the 18-footer, short off the iron. Spartans battle for the rebound, tipped away from himself. Cruz got it back. His pass is tipped away. The ball comes to Ralston. He's fouled by Hemish. No, they're going to call it on Ralston. Personal on Ralston. On the charge. It looked like they didn't signal the charge. That is 2 on Ralston. 5 on the Dutchman in the half, and the ball goes over to the Spartans with ROCORI with a 1-point lead with 23 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Joe Hemish will inbound in the backcourt against pressure. He has Krause and Dahl back there helping him. Krause gets a screen, now comes off the screen he set and comes away with the basketball. Kraus in the backcourt, has to hustle, he's got about 5 seconds left, dribbles through a double team, and then he's fouled as Cruz reached in. Tomas Cruz with the personal, his first, the 6th on Melrose, so from this point forward, not on this one, but after this, the Spartans will be in the bonus. They own the basketball in the backcourt with 16 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. I'm sure they'll try to take the last shot. Kraus in the backcourt, one-on-one against Sieben. Spins, beats him in on the right side, now to the right wing for Hemish. 9 on the clock, feeds down low for Dahl, but it was tipped away by Cruz, and Melrose comes back the other way with 5 on the clock. Walks into the midcourt line. Left wing pass in and out of the hands of Lynn, out of bounds. And ROCORI will have the ball in the backcourt with 1 second remaining. Both teams getting a little ragged here in the last minute of the quarter. Hemish will throw it ahead to Boucher. The shot at the buzzer is no good, off to the left. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. It continues to be a wild basketball game. ROCORI on top, 53-52, and we're back with the fourth quarter in 1 minute on Oldies 94.9.
Probably saw the score. Boy, it's tight. We're going into the fourth quarter. Gonna have to put it together. Right now, Randy or I don't know if you're hearing our play-by-play man or not, because we can't monitor it. We hope so. If not, it's just going to be blank, and if it is, I'm sorry. The best we can do is what we got to do with. In the meantime, we'll give you the video, and at least you can watch it that way. But it's been tight. It's going to continue to be tight the way it looks, right down to the wire. Of course, you get to watch this for virtually nothing, but nevertheless, let's just say you're really going to get your money's worth. Back to Randy. Here we go at the end, the fourth quarter, and should be a dandy, huh, Randy?
Yep.
ROCORI with the ball here to open the fourth quarter. A feed inside to Gabe Dahl, and as he went to the basket, he missed the shot, but he was fouled on the play. Foul charge to Scott Rademacher. That is his second. And at the line to shoot two will be Gabe Dahl. He hits the first one, he'll get one more. His first point of the ball game. So the Spartans have now had 6 players score, and they have 3 in double figures. Scott Hondo with 17, and Jim Kraus and Joe Hemish with 10 apiece. Second free throw, no good, but Dahl tips the rebound to Hemish, and he lays it up and in. Good hustle by Gabe Dahl, and Hemish with the bunny has 12. Spartans on top by 4 at 56-52. Heitgerson feeds in the lane for Belker, and a blocking foul called as the shot won't go. The foul is charged to Boucher. That is 2 on Boucher, the 6th of the half on the Spartans, and at the line to shoot 2 will be Ben Belker, who has 8 points in the ballgame, all in the first half. Tom Linneman leads all scorers with 23 points for Melrose. He's the only Dutchman in double figures. Belker is the exchange student from Germany, and he's at the line to shoot 2. He's 3 of 4 from the free throw line. First free throw is short. Everybody going after the rebound, but there'll be one more. It was a 2-shot foul. From this point on, both teams will be in the bonus. 7:40 remaining in the ball game. ROCORI on top by 4. Our opening night basketball game here on Oldies 94.9. Second free throw also short, and Hemish comes away with the rebound for the Spartans. He'll leave it for Kraus in the backcourt, and Jim lost his dribble to Sieben. Now the ball is loose again, and Jim comes away with it. He'll have to hustle, though. He triggers it ahead to Hemish off his hands out of bounds. Melrose never got control, so Hemish had to get it out, or rather, Kraus had to get it up, still in 10, and his pass was errant, tipped out of bounds by Hemish, and Melrose takes over at the midcourt line. Into the forecourt to Linneman, and he'll leave it for Sieben up on top. Then Sieben on the dribble, bounces it on the right wing for Heitgerken. Heitgerken, cross court, it goes to Rademacher. Scott's long three-pointer is no good, but the backside rebound to Sieben, and Melrose will reset. Up on top with Sieben, dribbling with Kraus a couple of steps off him, now goes to the right wing, looks down low. High post Linneman, turnaround from 15, won't go. Got his own rebound though, the runner from 7, that's short off the iron. Got it again, banked it up short. Got it again, put it up and off, and he was fouled by Kraus. Linneman had 4 chances, couldn't get any of them in, but on the fourth one he drew the foul on Jim Kraus. personal on Krause, as Eric Boucher will sit down now as Kip Sparby checks back into the ball game. He's playing with 4 personals now for ROCORI. And Tom Linneman, with 23 points in the ball game, including 12 from the free throw line, will step up to shoot 2. Free throw is up and good. 24 points for Tom Linneman to lead all scorers. He'll get one more free throw. He can hold Melrose to within 2. Neither team has used a timeout in this one. That means this last 7 minutes could last a whole long time. Second free throw is short off the iron, but Linneman got his rebound again. He's got 4 offensive rebounds in that sequence, and Melrose will reset. Ben Seaman up on top against the 2-3 zone. On the left wing it goes. Back up on top, Seaman. On the right wing, Seaman. Left wing for Belker. He'll launch a 3, long off the iron, high rebound, comes down to Melrose. Another offensive rebound, but then traveling as he came out of there with Dave Heichberger. And the ball was over to ROCORI on the rebound. But ROCORI needs to do something on the defensive boards. 5 offensive rebounds on that trip down the floor for Melrose. Hemish gets it into Sparby. He'll work one-on-one with Scott Rademacher as he crosses the timeline, ping-ponging with the left hand. Dribbles it to the left wing, now picks it up. Gets help on the left side from Dahl. Up on top, Hemish. 3 on the way. That's short off the iron, and the long rebound is tracked down in the corner by Velker. Melrose will go back the other way. 6:10 remaining, a 3-point ROCORI lead. Linneman, 3-pointer, long off the iron. Rebound battle for Velker, got it, comes down the pace, dumps it off to Linneman. His shot won't go, but he was fouled on the play by Krause. The ball came out of his hands as he came up, and I believe Jim Krause will be charged with the personal. That is 2 on Jim, and at the line to shoot 2 again will be Tom Linneman. And Bob Brink wants a timeout. 6:02 remaining. ROCORI 56, Melrose 53. Back in 1 minute on Oldies 94.9. Peace. The ROCORI timeout, the first timeout called by either club in this game. Tom Linneman at the line to shoot 2 with his Melrose team trailing ROCORI 56-53. 6:02 remaining in the ballgame. Free throw is short off the iron. I don't want to say regulation setting because with the pace that this ballgame has had and the intensity, I'm not sure that there's anybody in this gym that could stand an extra period. We still have 6 minutes of regulation left. Second free throw is good after Linneman missed the first. 25 points for Tom, a 2-point ROCORI lead with 6 minutes remaining. Sparby dribbles it across the timeline, moves to the left wing with Scott Rademacher on him. Bounces it on the left side on the arc to Krause. Up on top, caught by Dahl, and then he traveled, changed his pivot trip, and the ball goes over to Melrose on the turnover. This game has been a little sloppy at times. There's been probably more personal fouls than either coach would like to see. There's certainly been more turnovers than either coach would like to see. But that's because it's the first game. The intensity neither coach can quarrel with. Wayne Schreiner into the ball game now, replacing Gabe Dahl for ROCORI. And Sieben brings it into the forecourt for Melrose. Left wing Linneman, back to Sieben. Right side Scott Rademacher, fakes the 3. They reverse it on the left side. Now low post pass is loose on the floor. Battle for it, and it's tied up. And the ball, I believe, will belong to Melrose on the alternate possession. So Melrose maintains possession, but they lose the arrow, and Sieben will inbound on the far side. Now, actually, Scott Rademacher will go over to take the inbound pass. Now we're going to wipe off a few more wet spots on the floor. His bodies have been flying all over the place. The low post pass was intended, I believe, for Linneman. He couldn't handle it. The ball was loose on the floor. And in the scramble, it was tied up, and the ball will stay with Melrose, but the next one will go to ROCORI. Foul trouble in this ball game. Wayne Schreiner has 4 for the Spartans, as does Kip Sparby, and no one with more than 3 for Melrose. Sieben gets the inbound pass now from Rademacher. Left side for Rademacher. Sieben, right wing Linneman. Looks inside. Comes back up on top now to Rademacher. In the paint to Heitkirchen. And Heitkirchen was in the lane way too long. Called for 3 seconds on the violation. And back the other way will come the Spartans now. Heitkirchen had a rut in there. He had stayed in there so long, no doubt about it. And the Spartans inbound against some pressure in the backcourt, leading by 2. Sparby gets double teamed by Linneman, but he kept the ball and gets it ahead to Kraus. Nice play by Kip as he kept his head. Kraus drives it down, shovel pass to Hondo, and he jumps it in. Hondo looked like he might go for the slam, but he just laid it over the rim. 21 for Scott Hondo. 19 for Scott Hondo. 58-54, ROCORI by 4 with 5 minutes remaining. Linneman up on top, Sieben. Right side to Rademacher, fakes the 3, now to Sieben. He fakes the 3. Heitkirchen high post, backs out on the dribble. Now on the right wing outside the arc to Linneman as Melrose works against the zone. Sieben fakes the 3, dribbles in, bounces to Linneman, and Melrose will take a timeout. 4:48 remaining, ROCORI on top, 58-54. We're back in 1 minute on Oldies 94.9.
ROCORI 58, Melrose 54, 4 Dutchman back, 30 seconds on Oldies 105. Let's do a 4 or 5.
Thank you. And then 1 additional for each overtime, right? Yeah, okay. Tom, are we keeping up on spots okay here? Are we going to be okay? Okay. Oh, we'll be okay. Up their timeout, the Dutchman inbound on the near side in the forecourt. Sieben up on top, goes over to Linneman on the wing. Back to Sieben as they rotate against the zone. Goes all the way back to Linneman now on the right wing. Back to Sieben. Fakes it to the left. Now back to Sieben on the right. Looks inside to the post. Now goes high post to Ross Rademacher, to Scott Rademacher. Back to Sieben. 3-pointer. Hitting the crotch of the basket and comes down to Sparby. Ahead to Hamish, and he takes it to the bucket, and a blocking foul called on Sieben. Shot won't go. Hamish was 2-on-1 with Kraus, but I don't think he knew he was there as Sieben draws the foul on the block. That is 2 on Ben Sieben, and Joe Hamish with 12 points in the ballgame will be at the line to shoot 2. Joe's 6 of 6 from the free throw line. The Spartans were 13 of 14 from the stripe in the first half. Melrose was 12 of 16, but again, 2 of those misses were directly attributed to lane violations where they stepped into the lane before they could even attempt the free throw. Still missed opportunities though. 58-54, ROCORI by 4 as again we wipe up some wet spots on the floor, and Joe Hamish will be at the line to shoot 2. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. Hamish's free throw is good. Joe is a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line, and he has 13 points in the ballgame. Second free throw, likewise good. That one gets a bounce. 14 points for Joe Hamish, and the Spartans come out with a press now, a 2-2-1 zone press. Sieben operating in the backcourt, dribbles it in, and brings it up on the left side to Velker. Now Sieben will bring it back up on top as the Spartans set up in that 2-3 zone. Sieben up on top, left wing Linneman. Low post pass for Velker, and he was fouled on the inbound or the entry pass by Hondo. Velker banked it in, but that won't count, and he'll be at the line to shoot 1-1. And that is 4 personals now on Scott Hondo. There's still 4:07 remaining, and Velker will be at the line to shoot 2. Velker is 3 of 6 from the free throw line. On the floor here now for Melrose, Velker along with Scott Rademacher. We'll set the rest for you in a moment because the Spartans are going to take a timeout. 4:07 remaining in the fourth quarter, 60-54. ROCORI leads Melrose, and we'll come back in 30 seconds here on Oldies 94.9. sure that Bob Brink would have liked to have seen a bit better defense out of his ROCORI Spartan team tonight. I'm sure he would have liked to see better defensive rebounding, a little bit less on the foul side, and a few less turnovers. But all in all, he has to be pleased with the way his team has played here tonight. ROCORI leads Melrose 60-54 with 4:07 remaining in the ballgame, and Ben Velker at the line to shoot 2 for the Dutchman. Ender takes a couple of dribbles, and the big guy fires it up and hits it. He has 9 points in the ballgame, chance to be the second Dutchman in double figures and cut the ROCORI lead to 4. Tom Linneman leads all scorers for Melrose with 25 points in the ballgame. Second one is also good. Velker has 10, and it's a 4-point ROCORI lead. Sparby on the dribble, crosses the timeline as we hit the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Kraus on the right side to the baseline, in traffic, triple teamed, and he double dribbled. Came out of the triple team, off balance, let the ball go to the floor. A turnover on ROCORI, and Melrose will inbound in the backcourt against that 2-2-1 three-quarter court pressure. Rolfson still in the backcourt to Scott Rademacher. Head to Rolfson. Bobs it ahead in the front court to the right corner to Ross Rademacher. Cross court for his cousin Scott. Up on top, Linneman. Now right wing, Rolfson. Rolfson back up on top for Linneman. Melrose very patient against the zone. Linneman gets it back. Now dumps it to Rademacher on the wing. Back up to Linneman. 3.5 remaining. In the paint to Velker. Turnaround good around Hondo, who has 4 personals and could only stand there. And it's a 2-point ball game. Kimmich to the lane. Shot won't go, but he was fouled, I believe, by Velker. And that's 4 on him if that's the call. Melrose fans don't agree, but Velker charged with the personal, his 4th. And Joe Hemish will be at the line to shoot 2. Velker with the basket on the other end has 12 points. And now 4 personals, and Ben Sieben will check back into the ballgame now, replacing Scott Rademacher for Melrose. Hemish at the line to shoot 2 with 14 points in the ballgame, 8 of those coming at the free throw line. This one is good. And Joe has 15 points, and that is great to see because the Spartans will rely on his scoring abilities heavy this season. They'll rely heavily on his ability to contribute after Hondo and the rest of the crew have done their job. Now Hondo will sit down with those 4 personals as Brian Neewin comes out to try to buy the Spartans about 1.5 minutes or so. Hemish's second free throw is good. Spartans back on top by 4, and Joe has 16 points in the ballgame, 10 of them coming from the free throw line. On the right wing to Rolfson. Low post pass tipped away by Hemish, rather the high post feed, but it comes back to Sieben. Right side Rolfson against the zone. Back up top to Sieben. Right side Rolfson. They look inside to Sieben. Left wing Linneman. Low post pass over the head of everybody, out of bounds, and the ball was over to the Spartans on the turnover. Tried to feed Velker down low, but it was too high. 3:03 remaining. Spartans by 4 with the basketball in the backcourt. Sparby. Everybody clears out, and he'll work against Sieben. Into the forecourt. They try to get the double team on him, but they can't do it, and the pass goes right through Neewin's hands, out of bounds. 2:52 remaining in the ballgame. It could be a good pass. It went right through Brian's hands. 62-58, ROCORI by 4. Melrose with the basketball. Rolfson up on top, right wing Sieben. Fakes the 3, back to Rolfson, left wing Linneman. Linneman to the baseline. Against Schreiner, went up, couldn't get the shot, kicked it out on top. Sieben, right wing, three-pointer is good. And Sieben with 7 points in the ballgame. It's a 1-point ROCORI lead. Now Sparby wheels into the forecourt against Sieben, and now we have a whistle, and I'm not sure what the deal is. Oh, the net was hung up down on the other end. So they're going to stop play to fix that. And that'll bring Scott Hondo, I think, into the ballgame before ROCORI. And he'll get back in. He sat down for about 1 minute with those 4 personals. He'll replace Brian Neewin. It's kind of a tough debut for Brian. He's really struggled a bit back playing basketball after not playing his junior year. It's going to take him a while, as Bob said in the pregame show, to get things going. Kip Sparby dribbling up on top now is fouled on the play by Sieben, and Kip will be at the line to shoot 1-1. Sieben reached in and drew his 3rd personal. And Sparby, who has 9 points in the ballgame, will try to become the 4th Spartan to go into double figures. Hondo has 19, Hamish with 16, and Kraus has 10. In double figures for Melrose, Tom Linneman leads all scorers with 25, and Ben Velker has a dozen. Free throw is good, so Skip has 10 points, chance to make it 11. And he can give the Spartans a 3-point cushion again with 2:22 remaining. Free throw is up, and it rolls out, tapped up and off by Hemish, kept alive by Hemish, but Belker comes down with the rebound. Stevens brings it up the right side for Linneman. Starts it in the paint, shovel layup, it's good. Nice move by Tom Linneman. He has 27 in the ballgame, and we're tied at 63. Sparby's pass at the basket, but hit the bottom, and they're going to call it good. Sparby ahead. His pass is tipped away by Belker, but right to Kraus. Kraus shovel pass in the lane is stolen away by Melrose. Stevens ahead to Belker. Belker bounce pass on a traveling foul as Melrose lost. On the left wing, it was Ross. And ROCORI takes over in the backcourt with 1:54 remaining, and the ballgame tied at 63. ROCORI has 2 timeouts left. Melrose with 3, as Kraus will handle it in the backcourt. Jim, double team, dribbles between his legs, breaks to the right side into the forecourt, and he's fouled. Has pressure across the timeline by Mike Ralston, and he got too close. And that is personal number 3 on Ralston. Kraus will be at the line to shoot 1 and 1. Jim with 10 points in the ballgame. He's 4 of 4 from the free throw line. 1:37 remaining. We're tied at 63. ROCORI led the game 7-0 early on. Melrose led by as many as 9 in the first half, and no one has had a lead of more than 6 since that lead was cut down below that level. And we've been tied umpteen times in this one. His free throw is no good off the back iron. Long rebound, battle in the corner. Hondo came away with it, but he stepped out of bounds, and the ball will stay with ROCORI. They're going to say that touching the ball out of bounds was Scott Rademacher, so ROCORI will keep the ball on the far side in the front court. It'll be inbound by Schreiner into Sparby with 1:40 remaining in a tie ball game. Hemish feeds down low for Hondo. Baseline jumper won't go. Got his own rebound and put it up and in. Hondo with 21 points, and the Spartans lead by 2. Now Linneman the other way banks it in as he went coast to coast. Linneman answers. He has 29 points, and we're tied at 65. Sparby in the backcourt across the timeline on the dribble. Bounces it on the left wing for Hemish. To Hondo, high post to Sparby. Launches a 3. Count it! Skip Sparby has 13 points. A 3-point ROCORI lead with 1:05 remaining. Linneman on the left wing. Up on top to Stevens. Right wing, Rademacher. His 3 is short off the iron. Rebound battled for and foul called underneath, I believe, on Schreiner. No, they're going to call it on Melrose. No, it is on Schreiner. I thought so. Schreiner went over the top. And that is 5 on Wayne Schreiner. So Wayne Schreiner fouls out with 59 seconds remaining in regulation. And that is, he leads the ball game with 7 points. And at the line to shoot 1 and 1 will be Ross Rademacher with 4 points in the ball game. Skip Sparby's 3-pointer has given the Spartans that 3-point cushion with 59 seconds remaining. And Gabe Dahl will check into the ball game to replace Wayne Schreiner. Scott Hondo and Skip Sparby are both playing with 4 personals for the Spartans. On the other side, Ben Belker has 4 for the Dutchman. Nobody else with more than 3 for Melrose. And now ROCORI will take a timeout with 59 seconds remaining in the ballgame. 68-65, Spartans on top of Melrose, and we're back in 30 seconds on Oldies 94.9. Game. Now 59 seconds is a world of time. Melrose with 3 timeouts remaining. ROCORI with 1. Just over 59 seconds left. 65. ROCORI on top by 3. Kip Sparby broke the 65 all tie with a three-pointer from up top. And now Ross Rademacher is at the line to shoot 1-1 for Melrose. Left-hander's free throw is good. He started the ball game, has seen limited playing time here in the second half, but he has 5 now. And a chance to make it 6 and pull his team to within 1 here in the final minute of play. And he does it. 68-67, Spartans with the lead in the ball. Ahead it comes to the forecourt to Hemish. Hemish will wait for Sparby to catch up to set the offense. Down to 50 seconds. ROCORI will run the rotation. Handel on the left wing outside the arc. One dribble, bounces up on top, caught by Hemish. Hemish with pressure on him. Melrose will have to foul. No, they won't. Hemish travels. The Spartan bench doesn't like the call, but the Spartans turn it over, and now the Dutchmen will take a timeout. They have the ball, and we come back with 40 seconds remaining, trailing by 1. ROCORI 68, Melrose 67. Timeout on the floor, 40 seconds remaining, and we're back in 30 seconds on Oldies 94.9. Okay, you might want to see if you could grab something from later than, because I'm going to use 2 minutes at the end of the game, you know, to total things up. All right, thanks. Back to Melrose, 68-67. ROCORI on top. Emmett Keenan with you here on Oldies 94.9. 40 seconds remaining. ROCORI with the traveling call on Joe Hemish, turning the ball over before the timeout, and Melrose will inbound on the near side in the backcourt. Scott Rademacher will trigger it in, and now Melrose will take another timeout as they try to see how ROCORI will line up defensively. Now that will leave Melrose with just 1 timeout. ROCORI has 1 timeout. But take a moment and recap the scoring in this one for you. First of all, for Melrose, Tom Linneman leads all scorers with 29 points in the ballgame. Ben Velker is the only other Dutchman in double figures. He has 12. Ben Sieben and Scott Rademacher each have 7. Ross Rademacher with 6 points. Eric Schmiesing with 4. And Dave Heitkirchen with 2. Jeff Lynn, Tomas Cruz, and Mike Rolfson have played, but they have not scored for Melrose. Ben Velker is in foul trouble, the only one in foul trouble, with 4 for Melrose. ROCORI has Scott Handel with 21 points, Joe Hemish with 16, Jim Krause with 10, Kip Sparby with 13, Wayne Schreiner has fouled out with 7. Sparby and Handel are playing with 4 fouls. Inbound now for Melrose as we're underway. Melrose with the ball, trailing by 1 with a half a minute remaining. Sieben up on top. Scott Rademacher, right wing, back to Sieben, back to Rademacher, to Sieben. Dribbles to the key, now back to Rademacher, to Sieben, to Linneman. Breaks to the baseline, stops, shovel pass in the lane, and tipped away. Spartans come away with the ball, and then Krause is fouled by Scott Rademacher. Rademacher says, who me? I never touched him. That is Rademacher's third. It's probably not a big deal because they would have had the foul anyway. With ROCORI on top by 1 with 17 seconds remaining. And Jim Krause will be at the line to shoot 1-1. He's 4 of 5 from the free throw line, but he has missed the front end of the 1-1 already here in the 4th quarter. For Melrose in the ball game now, Ben Sieben, Tom Linneman, Ross Rademacher, Dave Heitkirchen, and Ben Velker. The Spartans with Gabe Dahl, Scott Handel, Joe Hemish, Jim Krause, and Kip Sparby, and Jim hits the free throw. Big free throw. The second one will mean even more. 11 points for Krause, a 2-point ROCORI lead. So the Spartans with their starting 5, with the exception of Wayne Schreiner, who's fouled out, and the ball is in for him. Second free throw is good. 12 points for Krause, a 3-point Spartan lead. Melrose with the ball with 15 seconds remaining. They'll undoubtedly try to find a 3. Velker's pass is tipped away. He gets it back with 8 seconds remaining. Now to Sieben, to Linneman. He'll work for the 3. Launches it, and it rims out. Long rebound loose on the floor. 2 seconds, and a whistle to stop the clock with a second remaining. A foul on Melrose, ROCORI is going to win the opener as the long rebound was batted out on the floor, and in the scramble, a foul was called on the play. I believe on Scott Rademacher. No, excuse me, on Ben Steven. That is his fourth. That certainly is academic. Jim Krause will be at the line to shoot 1 and 1. If he makes the first one, the ball game's definitely over. If he misses it, Melrose has a long way to go in a second. Free throw rims out, rebound to Belker. They don't get the shot off, and ROCORI wins the ball game. A wild one here in Melrose. Final score, ROCORI 70, Melrose 67. We'll come back with the post-game show in just a moment here on Oldies 94.9.
Your final score, ROCORI 70, Melrose 67. We'll be back in 2 minutes to wrap things up tonight. This has been Dutchman Basketball on Oldies 105.
Hi, Mr. Brink. Yeah, it's on, yeah. I'm going to probably turn it up a little bit here.
I'm fine.
Okay. I'm going to be able to see our numbers.
Scoring or what?
Honnold at 21, Hemish had 16, and he made 10 of 10 free throws. If I'm naming it, I name that kid.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
He played an all-around ball game.
You bet he did. He had 4 guys in double figures. Schreiner had 7. It's a good ball game.
A lot of crucial calls, wasn't it, from the line?
Very physical, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Pardon?
Who? 29.
How many what?
Linneman had 29.
Did he?
Tom, I'm ready whenever you are. Of course, Hardee's will be the post-game sponsor. Well, if this ball game is any indication of how the season's going to go, it's going to be a wild basketball season. In a thriller, ROCORI over Melrose, 70-67 here in Melrose. Welcome back, everyone. Emmett Keenan here on Oldies 94.9. Our post-game show is being brought to you by Hardee's Restaurant in Cold Spring, and we're joined now by ROCORI head coach Bob Brink. Bob, I'll tell you what, if you're going to do that about 19 times this season, I'm going to send you the bill for my heart medication. That was a wild one.
You think it's tough on you, Emmett? I'm a little older than you, and you got to give Melrose a lot of credit. You know, we played well the second half. I thought we played, you know, a lot more poised the second half and not so rattled, but Melrose has got a nice team. They've got a lot of kids coming off the bench, and their guards do a nice job defensively, and they're just a very physical team. It was a very physical ball game, and we're just very fortunate to come out with a win.
Came out of the blocks very fast. We scored the first 7 points, and then it appeared for like 3, 4, 5 minutes, a stretch there. You were disoriented. You didn't seem to know what you were doing on defense. What happened there?
What happened is again, you know, we think we have a pretty good bench, but a lot of those kids haven't got a lot of experience, and we wanted to get them in the first half a little bit, and we got a little bit of foul trouble. Hondo got a little foul trouble right in the first quarter, and so trying to get those people out there, so we had them that last quarter, but it worked out. We only lost 1, and that was Wayne Schreiner, so that was part of the reason for the early substitutions, but a good balanced ball game out of our ball club, and that's what we needed.
How do you feel about the game on the backside now, knowing what you hope to accomplish coming into this game? It's a non-conference game. It's always great to get a win. But what you're doing is you're shooting towards that Central Lakes Conference opener on Tuesday against Little Falls. Based on what you thought would happen and what you expected, what did you see tonight and what were you pleased with?
Well, I tell you, for Kip Sparby's first time at that point guard position with the quickness that they have with Steven and Linneman up top there, I thought he did a heck of a job. You know, he learned some things about staying in the middle of the floor with the basketball. Every time he got close to the sidelines, we got trapped, and he learned that as the ball game went along. So I thought he did well and learned some big lessons for the future. And I thought that we did, for the most part, play very good defense, team defense. The first half it didn't look like it, but they penetrated a lot on us. And when we went to the zone the second half, I think we shut off their game and kind of looked like we had them a little more off their game. When we're running the man-to-man, they're cutters and they were getting it inside. And a fine game plan they had there, getting it inside to their big people. And Scott was in foul trouble, and Wayne Schreider both with 4 fouls. So they did some good things in that fourth quarter that really kept us off guard. But all in all, Emmett, I just think that it was a big win for us coming over here. I think this is a pretty good Melrose team. I think they're going to make their presence known. They've got good depth, and they got some good people, and they got some good quickness in their guards, and that's what makes a good basketball.
A guy like Tom Linneman, a junior who led them in scoring last year as a sophomore with 29 points. He absolutely killed you from the free throw line in the first half. If his own teammates hadn't kept stepping into the lane, he'd have had 35 points.
He penetrated. He took us to the hole really well and took advantage of our guards a little bit, but we didn't get a lot of support defense out top there with penetration. It's pretty hard to stop a guy one-on-one. I mean, he's a good ball handler and he's a little quicker. But I thought we did do a little better job of that when we went to that two-man front zone. Stopped a little better. At least they were moving it more around the outside rather than attacking the basket.
ROCORI wins the opener 70-67 over Melrose. Our post-game show and our Hardee's Hustler Award brought to you by Hardee's Restaurant in Cold Spring. Bob and I will be back to name the Hardee's Hustler of the game right after this from Hardee's.
Yeah, they got some big, strong-looking kids, don't they?
What?
They had a good football team.
Oh, yeah.
They got some strong kids, don't they?
You know the dimensions Sparby's going to give you? I bet he had 3 block shots coming out on the point guard. You know, at 6'2", he's going to give you that dimension.
I know, yeah. Carl's played pretty well tonight, a lot better than he has been previously. He hits
He had a dozen.
He had a dozen, yeah. The other thing we learned probably a little bit is...
Welcome back to Melrose here on Oldies 94.9. Emmett Keenan with you, along with Spartan head coach Bob Brink. ROCORI wins it over Melrose tonight by a score of 70-67. And we need to name our Hardee's Hustler of the game. Scott Hondo leading ROCORI with 21 points, Bob. Kip Sparby, you mentioned him, 13 points in his first game as a point guard and the only junior starter. 12 points for Jim Krause and a good floor game for him. But I think probably the all-around outstanding effort in this game had to be Joe Hemish. Joe was 16 points. He was 10 of 10 from the free throw line, played great defense, and really played a good, solid game, both inside and outside for
Yeah,
you.
and you know, he's about 6'2", and he doesn't jump that well, but he got a lot of key rebounds for us in there, too, and a couple putbacks on the offensive board. So Joe did have an excellent game, and he's been playing very well in our scrimmages, too. I think he's really kind of found himself and starting to play with a little confidence, so I think he's well deserving of that award.
Okay, so we agree. Joe Hemish is our Hardee's Hustler of the game. Lots of folks probably deserving of that award, and with 4 players in double figures, pretty good scoring balance. That's got to make you feel good heading into that conference opener at home Tuesday.
I was really happy with Scott Hondo too. You know, he played much better defense, and I thought at times there he didn't go to the boards real strong, but sometimes that happens when you're in foul trouble. You know, big key was too when Brian went into the game for him. We were trying to protect him with 4 fouls because they were going right at him every time down, and then we got the possession back without them scoring. Then the ball went through Brian's hand on the other end, so that was just a tough break, or that would have been a very good situation for us there.
Now, how high in the air did Scott Hondo go on the offensive rebound on that end when he went up and pulled it out of the air and slammed it? His hands were 12 feet off the floor if they were an inch.
He's an excellent jumper, but, you know, I just think that we've got to get him the ball more, and he's got to look to score a little bit more from that 15-foot area in. And where I got him on the inside, and I think that's going to make us a much better ball club down the road this year than play him out on the perimeter. Because with Joe and Sparby and Krause and a couple of those kids, I think we got plenty of outside shooting, so we can afford to play Scott inside this year.
Certainly a promising start. Congratulations, Bob, and we'll see you Tuesday in Cold Spring.
Thank you, Emmett.
That's ROCORI head coach Bob Brink. The Spartans win it tonight by a score of 70-67. We'll quickly recap the scoring for you and then get you back to more of the great oldies here on Oldies 94.9. Scott Hondo led the Spartans with 21 points, as we mentioned. Joe Hemish, our Hardee's Hustler of the game, had 16, including 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 13 for Kip Sparby, 12 for Jim Krause, 7 for Wayne Schreiner, and a single free throw for Gabe Dahl. Brian Niewind, Eric Boucher, Mike Carlson, and Eric Schmitz all played in the game, but did not score for the Spartans, who open up with a win here at Melrose. Fine game for junior guard Tom Linneman for Melrose. He led all scorers with 29 points. Ben Velker was the only other Dutchman in double figures. He had a dozen. 7 each for Ben Sieben and Scott Rademacher. 6 for Ross Rademacher. 4 for Eric Schmiesing. And 2 for for Dave Heitkirchen. Jeff Lynn, Tomas Cruz, and Mike Rolfson played in the game but did not score for Melrose. As each team played 10 in the game, it was a great up and down battle, but the Spartans win the opener by a final score of 70-67. Thanks to Melrose Athletic Director Dave Sieben for all of his help in this game, and to the coaches Darrell Oj and Bob Brink. Join us Tuesday night here on Oldies 94.9 as the Spartans open up the Central Lakes Conference season at home against Little Falls. You'll hear it all right here on Oldies 94.9. Final score tonight from Melrose was ROCORI 70, Melrose 67. Thanks to my producer Tom Lucas. For Oldies 94.9, I'm Emmett Keenan from Melrose. Have a great evening. We'll see you Tuesday night from ROCORI.